YouTube, there is no firearms in this video.
Welcome back to the Lowkey Airgunner YouTube channel. In this episode I will be shooting the Crosman Vigilante CO2 pistol. This is a single and double action semi-automatic repeater and it can shoot pellets and BBs. I never shot BBs with it. I might do that eventually, I don't know, but today and in the next episode, because there is a part 2 to this, okay, I will be trying pellets. On there I got a Pursuit red dot and a Feiichi PL19 laser, so you guys can see a bit if I'm shaky or not, because I will be using only one camera. I will mainly be testing some flat nose style pellets and maybe a few destroyers in the next episode if I run out of them. It is winter out here in Canada, so I will be shooting in the basement at around 22 feet, maybe a tiny bit more. So let's do that. Let's start this pellet test with the good old wadcutter 7.4 grains by Crosman. Take note that I did try to make a crony test before shooting those shots, so I did waste 10 shots on this CO2 cartridge. The next few tests will be from full because I stopped wasting time with the chronograph. Now let's talk about the footage a little bit. I'm doing pretty good with those budget pellets yet. Those are Crosman pellets in a Crosman pellet gun, so that's pretty nice. I am actually aiming with the Pursuit red dot that I got on there, but I got this laser so I can show you guys if it is my fault how stable I am. Rested from like 22 feet. I am far from being the best pistol shooter, but the trigger on this one is also pretty stiff. I am using the single stage trigger, aka I'm cocking it each time, but yeah, it is pretty heavy. I will say it is 7 pounds, but watch my video still. Okay, thank you. Alright, so the next pellet that we are going to try in this bad boy is Jsb Simply 8.02 grain pellets. Those are flat nose slash wadcutters too, and pretty budget. So let's see how they do compared to the Crosman wadcutters and the next few pellets. I most likely did pull a few shots in those tests, but you can see with the laser how bad it is, and you can get a pretty good idea in 10 shots if the pellets are doing pretty decent or not. So leave a like if you enjoyed that. This pistol is more of a plinker than a target gun, but I still wanted to test a few pellets just to give me a chance to hit anything with it because I'm bad with pistols. It doesn't seem like the Jsb Simply will be this pistol favorite pellets yet by the two big flyers, but other than this, it was pretty okay. Now let's try the Stoeger Export 7.48 grains. I believe that those are just rebranded H&N Excite pellets, but don't quote me on it. I don't know. H&N Excite pellets are pretty rare in Canada, and I wish they were not, so maybe Airgun Source could stock more of those. Travis, if you're listening to this, do it. And I also want more RWS in stock, and I want everything. Thank you. So yeah, like I said, this airgun might not be a target pistol with a match grade trigger and stuff, and it might not even be worth testing pellets, but that's part of the fun to me. Now for the last group of this CO2 cartridge, I will be shooting Crosman pointed 7.4 grains just because I have a bunch of those. I do want to mention that I wasted like 10 shots under a chronograph before shooting this specific test with this cartridge, so this one seemed to be affected a bit by it. Stay tuned to see more groups with the pointeds because this will be the last group on pretty much every test I did that day. But as you can see, it started really well. Then I think that CO2 took a crap because that ain't it. Point of impact is going down. We are getting a bit of spread, which is a pretty good indicator that the velocity is going down and that the CO2 is going down.
Yeah.
So this was around 50 shots or so if I count the chronograph ones that I wasted. There was really not much gas in there. I do want to chronograph it eventually if I can make my chrony works with CO2, but it seems like you get more like 40-45 shots than 50 like most said on the internet. By the way, I'm using Splatburst 1-inch targets with this pursuit red dot and this Fiat laser, okay? I am also using the safety a bit too often because I always forget to remove it. But yeah, this is how it works. It is a plastic thingy that blocks the trigger. Enough rambling. After one dry fire, we are now ready to try the Sig Match 7.71 grain. Those are pretty nice looking match grade pellets, but for some reasons I add 2 of those rock back and forth into the magazines, but not always, so the fit in this specific type of clip might not be the best, but they are pretty interesting pellets still. A bit on the pricey side, but they might be worth to try. They still perform really well, which is kind of annoying because now I want to use them to get the first few shot results, and then they start to get a few flyers depending of which one is looser. I had good results with those in other pistols, but yeah, personally if I still get a few flyers, I prefer shooting something a bit more budget. Hey. Oka boka. For the second 10-shot group of this CO2 cartridge, I will be using RWS Meister Kugel 8.2 grains. This is the rifle version. Those might be a little bit heavy for this kind of pistol, but I did not feel like trying the 7.0 grain Meister Kugel in this pistol. It is not really worth it to me. But after seeing this, we might give it a try at a bit of a longer distance. I would have done this test at 10 meters, but 22 feet is about what we have in the basement, and it is winter out here, so we will take that. They did start to spread a little bit upwards after that, but is that me? Is that not? Who knows? I got the laser on there to tell you, but next will be the RWS RB 7.0 grain. Those are a little bit cheaper than the Meister Kugels, which can be pretty good if they plink as good. So let's see what they do. But you might not be able to tell very well with the laser since it's ran out of battery. What happened? I don't know. It is working now? Crap. For the last group, to make sure not to influence the results with CO2 too much, I will use my Crosman pointed 7.4 grains. It seems to do just fine until 45 shots. 50 is definitively pushing it, but I would want to confirm that with my chronograph before, you know, making a bunch of tests and then realizing that a bunch of them has been influenced by the CO2 a lot. By the look of it, I was getting a bit tired on target. I don't know if I can blame the pellets on that one or not, but you know, I'm getting tired of this voiceover too. It makes things a lot simpler with the bad audio in the basement with the fireplace and stuff, but that's not my favorite kind of video. I still wanted you guys to see it. Still a bit left. Cartridge is frozen and it smells. Make sure to stay tuned for part 2 of this video where I will be testing a bunch more pellets with the Crosman Vigilante. Alright, so thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. Comment if you have any questions, and I will see y'all in the next one.